Okay, so I'm going to prepare my apples for my apple tart. I'm going to use Granny Smith, but you can use any sour or any type of apple that you like the taste of in a pie. Traditionally for apple pies, they often use very sour, like Bramley apples, which taste good inside a pie. But this is not always necessary if you are making a tart, because you are not going to use the same process. You're not going to cook, because Bramley apple is actually pre-cooked, and in this tart we're not going to pre-cook. So these are going to be fresh apples baked inside my tart with butter and sugar. So it's going to be really, really nice. Okay, so the peels go, and what I need to do, I need to cut it in half. And this is going to be cut off. And these sections are going to be taken out. So these are going to be the segments, and because they're going to be cooked inside my tart with the tart, I'm going to have to create segments that are really, really thin. So the segments are going to be really thin, like this. Look. So they're going to be really, really thin. Tiny, tiny segments. Like that. So yeah, and I'm going to have to create several of these. So yeah, so these are going to be really small, tiny segments. So I'm going to take this one away. This is to ensure that they have enough time to cook and absorb all of the spices and butter and sugars and everything. So these are the segments. Right. Okay. Okay, so I've got 3 of those now. I need to put them somewhere. I'm going to use this. Okay, okay, so I'm going to put them here. Okay, now I need to get this one sorted. So I'm going to peel another apple now. Okay. Right, so okay. Okay, I'm now going to prepare my filling for my apple. So I'm just going to use some cinnamon with sugar. I don't want to use too much cinnamon because I don't want my apples to go black. But equally I want to have some flavor. So I'm going to mix this cinnamon with sugar, and this sugar is going to be used for sprinkling my apples and also for the base of the pastry, because my pastry is savory. It's not very sweet, so the base will be sprinkled with this sugar, and then some of it also will go on top, and of course butter, melted butter. So so this sugar is pretty much ready. There's not much else that I need to do, and these are my apple segments. Here we are. So they will be sprinkled on top with this, and also melted butter. So my next stage will be to prepare my melted butter, and I'm going to use so my butter is going to be melted in this pan. I'm going to use quite a generous. This is probably more than I need, but I'll reuse it for something else later. Maybe I'll create ghee out of it. So I'm now going to go and create my butter. And possibly also ghee will be created. The butter that I don't use will go into ghee. And ghee is basically clarified butter, which I'm going to save to cook later, to prepare other dishes. So it's going to be really, really nice. But most of it is going to be used in my cake. Okay, that's it. My butter is ready. Okay, this top layer is what I want to actually remove. Because this is not what I want to use. Just want the butter. And the top bits are basically remaining proteins that are still left in the butter. Okay. So I'm going to remove these so that my butter is caramelized and really nice. Okay, so here's my pre-baked pastry base, and here's what I'm going to do. So I've got my sugar with cinnamon. I'm going to sprinkle the base with this sugar. Remember, this is my pastry is actually savory. It's not sweet, so this should create a nice layer. And now I'm going to basically lay my apples here. We are like this. Okay, so these are the segments that I created. So there will be a room for them to actually reduce themselves down into the pastry. But this is the idea. You create this chessboard-like structure. Okay. I think I would need to create more. Yeah, I just need maybe a few more. And I do have some apple left to cover these gaps in there. So, and then butter and more of this sugar goes on top. Okay, I think I now have enough apples. So more of this sugar goes on top. And now I'm going to start sprinkling oil. So here we are. So my melted clarified oil goes on top. And the base now will also be covered with oil. So, and to avoid leakages, I'm going to create I'm going to put it under, so it will go under into a tray, so that if my oil starts leaking, it doesn't leak into the actual oven. Because the base can be quite oily, that's no problem, and the apples do need to cook properly, so these oils are going to be very useful. So all this butter will be melting, and my apples will be absorbing the butter. Okay, so more sugar goes on top. And this sugar will then form a nice glaze as well. So here we are. That's it, I think we're done. And then it goes for more baking. Okay, I just wanted to show you what my final result looks like. So this is, it's nearly there. I think I'll give it another few minutes in the oven. They are soft, but maybe I need them a little bit softer. So I'm going to spread them nicely, and it will bake just a little longer. So this is a good time. So if you had any gaps before, when you were laying your apples, so if there were any gaps, this is a good opportunity now to go over it and cover those gaps. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to bake it a bit longer so that all the sugars are caramelized, and then I'm going to be done. I think it needs a little longer, but that's what it looks like. I'm sure it will taste absolutely fantastic. Let me wish you bon appetit, and we'll chat again soon.